Okay guys, today I will show you how to fix the fuel pump solenoid on a Ford Transit 2004. My Ford Transit is a mid-roof, a long wheelbase, diesel 2.4 liter. The fuel pump solenoid is not a very hard thing to do, but the access is pretty tricky. In fact, you have no room. You just have enough room to put some basic tools. Well, now what you have to do first is to come inside and disconnect the battery, how I did. The first thing you have to remove is the manifold, and then this part here. Then what you have to do is to remove the starter. It's very simple. The starter is actually like that. You have two bolts, one big here, one big here, then two wires. The big one is the positive, the small one is the negative, and then you can have access to this bracket. This is the support for the fuel pump, and then you have just behind that the fuel pump solenoid. I asked Ford this plan. I went to Ford. The access is pretty difficult because as you can see, your pump is like that, the front is here, and this one is the rear parts, and the problem is like you have the supports of the pump is hiding this part, and to remove that is pretty difficult. It's exactly like that. When you have a look, it means the fuel pump solenoid is just behind that, and you have to remove this bolt first, two bolts here, and then don't forget this one here. Like you have just enough room to put your tool, but you can't see it. It's impossible, and it's pretty tricky to have access to it. And then when you have access to this fuel pump, you have a reference written on it. It's 0281002431. This is a very old reference. I called Bosch in France and Bosch in Australia. They told me they don't sell it anymore, and after some lot of research I found the last spare part. The last spare part is the 0986444950. This is the last spare part because the other one, they don't sell it anymore. If you need to call Bosch in Australia to get some information about this part, you can, but you can't order the spare parts directly to them. You have to ask, for example, other one. The number for Bosch is it's a land phone, and it's 1300307044. Then you can ask them if they have the spare parts. He will give you some information about it. You can ask other one to order the spare parts, and that's it. And for me to remove the fuel pump solenoid, I try it with basic tools, with, for example, these torques, but it doesn't work. I tried like a couple of times, maybe during 1 hour. The problem is you need this kind of tool. This one is like a socket. This one is not a Torx because I bought new bolts. Anyway, I asked a mechanic to help me to remove it because it was impossible, and trust me, if you can't do it, ask a mechanic. He has the proper tools, he has the proper technique, because if you fuck the head, you need to remove the entire pump. It's not the same job, and it will cost you like a couple of $1,000s because the pump is connected to the timing chain. There are a lot of different things around. It's not a very easy job. That's why if you can't do it by yourself, call a mechanic to remove just two bolts. Just replace the bolt, of course, by this one, and then you can do the rest by yourself. And then take this kind of lights, put that on your head, and then just go under the car. It is a bit tricky. Here we are. Well, as you can see, the space is very small. This space is for the starter. That's why you have to remove it, otherwise you can't put your hand here, and you need the access to this place. You just need to place your head in the space to have a look to the famous supports. remove the 4 bolts, and then use your socket wrench and your torque socket to remove 2 bolts from the solenoid. Cut the cable and try to cut one shorter and the other one longer. And finally, use a screwdriver to remove the solenoid. To know if your problem comes from your solenoid, we will test it with the multimeter. A solenoid is basically a copper coil like this photo. It means this wire is connected to this one. If I don't make a mistake, it doesn't really matter which way you connect it to the pump. But try to cut the previous one with a smaller cable and the other one longer. And then you will know which one you have to connect to the solenoid with comparing the length of the cable. And to know if your solenoid is good or not, you have to use the ammeter just like that. You put the beep mode, and if you hear it, it means the coil is good. Moreover, you can see the resistance of it. And when you test the old one, you have no beep and no resistance. It means you made a good choice with buying the solenoid because the old one is broken. Before to put the new solenoid, be sure you didn't forget to remove the old little green seal inside the pump. For me, when I removed the cable, the wire insulation went like a dust. If it's the same for you, don't panic, I will show you how to fix that. Prepare some heat shrink tubing and plug them on the cable. Cut the cable approximately 2 cm above your heat shrink. Heat the heat shrink with the lighter, and then, with some saliva in your fingers, squeeze them strongly. Prepare some cable extension to have enough length to place the new solenoid. We will solder them to your solenoid and your old cable like this photo. Prepare them and put some iron on each side of your cable. And then, do exactly the same thing to the cable from the pump. When it's done, just hit the cable of the pump with your iron and then just put the new cable next to it to solder them together. Prepare 2 new heat shrink. Then put it to isolate the solder parts of your new cable and squeeze it like the first time. If you want, you can put 2 heat shrink and some electrician tape to make it stronger. Finally, you can solder your new solenoid with the same technique as we saw together and put also a new heat shrink. Put some electrician tape like this, and then put again some electrician tape to make your new cable stronger. When everything is finished, you can place the solenoid under the pump to put it back. Then place your head in the place to have a look on it, and of course put it back. To put it back, you have to use a little trick with these tools, because as you can see, it's really loose. If you put some tape on it, it will be much easier to use it. As you can see, the place is really small, and you need these tools and all of these extensions to have the access to the bolts. And that's it, the solenoid is in this place. Now it's time for the pump support. Place it to its place. Place the left screw previously removed. And here another little trick for the difficult bolt of the support. You can use a little bit of tape on it to be sure to not lose it when you will try to put it back. As you can see, the access is really small and you can put only your tool, that's why you need this trick and lots of extension. For the other one, nothing really difficult except the place for your tools. Now let's put back the starter, nothing really difficult for this one. The big plug is for the big and thick cable and the 2 little cable. And the little plug is for the little black cable. If you don't remember the way of wiring, no worries, just follow the photo. Another trick, put the bolt of the top before to put back the starter, otherwise it will be impossible to put it. And don't forget to put back the negative of the battery to your engine if this one was placed there. Then you just need to put back the manifold and the EG air valve. Diesel engines don't like air at all, that's why you have to blow the air to be able to start your engine. To do that, you have to unscrew a little bit each injectors one per one. Turn the starter during 3 seconds, screw it back and do the same for all the others. And it's finished, you have done the job. I hope this tutorial was useful for you and helps you a lot. If you need to have some additional information, feel free to ask me, I will answer you as soon as I will read your comments. Anyway, I'm doing also a lot of different traveling video. If you want to see what I'm doing beside my mechanic, subscribe to my channel and like the video to be sure to not miss the next one. Have a good one, guys!